Yeah.
Do you,
I'm thinking the interview will be like 15, 20 minutes.
Do you want more coffee? Or
Oh,
some
that'd
water?
be lovely. That'd be lovely.
Coffee?
Some more coffee. Oh, thank you,
You
Ron.
want something? You want some water?
Sure.
Water.
Oh.
Let me turn.
Oh, I'll get mine.
Were they pink?
Whoa, what? You got cool lighting? Oh, yeah, that's sick. You guys are too good to me.
You knock that over on the floor, I won't be good to you. I'll just mop that floor for the second time.
Interview, take one.
Do we want to do the dramatic Netflix thing where they come in the shot and sit down on her?
No. So, Logan, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name's Logan, but you know that already. I'm 20 years old. I'm from here in Edmond, Oklahoma. I've been producing for a good 4 or 5 years, seriously. I started putting out music in 2019. So it hasn't been that long, but it's progressed hugely in just a few short months.
Why do you love making music? What got you into it?
Well, I love it because, you know, it's just so, it's therapeutic for me because my dad was a big music guy, and he, like, when he passed away, it's really when it got me, like, hooked in, like, I wanted to dive into head first. So, and then everything just kind of took off from there. I took an online course. I had a mentor for 2 years before I got the music software and you know, started making music on my own. But the rest is kind of self-taught.
So, what are your previous albums that you've put out?
Well, above your head. My first album was Invincible, and that was huge. It came out my birth month, which is February. So that was like a bit, and it was a big accomplishment. And to be honest, looking at it now, it's not that good. but like all my projects, I thought it was, you know, the greatest thing in the world when it was first coming out. I was trying to promote it. It was even on SoundCloud for a while.
And you may look back on Invincible with, you know, recognizing that it's not as good as your most recent work, but I'm sure there's lots of people that look back on Invincible lovingly.
Especially, I remember when it first came out, one of my friends texted me. He actually works with me on the music quite a bit. One of my friends texted me and is like, dude, this track is fire, it slaps so hard. And then I listened to it and it's like, really?
So your most recent work, Random Music Volume 1.
Yes.
What is Random Music Volume 1?
Well, it's music that I felt like making just with I had no theme in mind. I planned none of this other than, okay, I want to put out an album because it's been forever since I put out a full-length album, because I put out Digital Fudge April 4th, I believe, and that was after Patterns Across Dimensions with Ghost, which is back in, was it 2020? I can't remember. I think it might have been 2020 that album came out, and that album is not even a full-length album. It's 7 tracks, and a full-length is 10 tracks.
Right.
So I felt that I kept my audience of, you know, a very small amount. I felt that I kept them waiting long enough, and I needed to make something that was gonna be able to last a long time and be able to have replayability and you know, be sing-alongable. Is that a word?
Sing-alongable? Heck yeah.
Yeah. But that was basically the goal, was to create something that anybody can appreciate, whether you're a production or like me, or somebody that's just getting into the world of music. But that was cool. It's just great, like this big communal thing.
And when did you start working on it, and how long were you working on Volume 1?
I started working on Volume 1 last year, I think, is when I physically started. Because I did it kind of piece by piece. And I had a track, one track that was already done and had been done for a while. Just Again was actually the first one on the project that I finished, and it's not the first song on the album. And I figured, hey, this could fit really well with these other tracks I'm working on, so why not put it on the album?
So you said there was no theme to the album.
There was no.
But in hindsight, looking back, do you recognize any kind of theme, maybe after you released it?
Yes. There's themes of love, failed love, but still love. There's a song talking about a memory that was super funny at the time because we were delirious from staying up too late. I think it was like 1 a.m. when we were all hanging out, a friend of mine and my sister, and we were playing one of those racing simulators that has a leaderboard that shows you like where the other racers are, and there was this one guy from Germany. His first name started with a K, and his last name was something German that was unpronounceable. So my friend just started calling him K whatever, and we all thought that was hilarious. And then the whole night we laughed at K whatever. And then in the morning when we got up, we were like, why was that so funny? So that's part of the lyric, is talking about we didn't understand why it was so funny, because we really didn't understand why it was funny. Like, nobody understood why it was funny. That's why it was funny. Not even we understood why it was funny. Yeah, why it was funny.
Nobody knew quite why it was funny.
It was funny at the time.
Not even we knew why it was funny.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason why I put that better run for cover lyric is because he was a race car driver, which means he's going really fast. So you better get out of his way.
I love the story behind songs like that. Like, it's just something silly that turns into such a catchy
And
tune.
that's what kills me about it, is it started as a joke. It's like, hey, I'm gonna make this song, it's gonna be good, I'm not gonna put it anywhere. And then it turned into this big sprawling thing where you'll actually see I Hate to See You Go to my right. Again, it started out just like really small and then developed into this big thing. It's like, oh, that's really good.
So, with that in mind, what's your favorite song from Random Music Volume 1?
My favorite song? Probably this one, Hate to See You Go. Just because it was my first dabble in the hyperpop genre. I know there's a lot of sub-genres of hyperpop, like with anything. I went for the more, I guess, subdued hyperpop. Hyperpop as a whole isn't really subdued. It's full of, fast tempos and distortion and crazy vocals, but I definitely went for that sort of style, and it was kind of my first time experimenting with, using a vocal hook and then building something.
The
from
where does it go?
The chorus, yeah. I always start with the chorus. It's part of my production technique. It's a bit weird, but I always start with the chorus, and then I develop so that I'll have the solid chorus, and then I'll say, okay, here's what I want the intro, here's the chorus, but I always start with the chorus for sure.
Right, that one is, I think it's my girlfriend's favorite, but my personal favorite would be Love Is Overrated.
Oh, yes.
All three of the songs in that kind of trilogy of themes, the theme of unrequited love or whatever. Those sound like songs that could go on 808s and Heartbreak. I've said many times.
That's a comment I've gotten from multiple people like, "Oh, you sound like Kanye." Like, well, I'll take that as a compliment because I love Kanye. Right?
Yep.
And he's a genius.
Yep. It's the auto-tune, man.
It's the auto tune for sure. But
So, oh, sorry.
I can't sing without it. Just
I think your vocal work, especially this new stuff that we're getting into in a
yeah,
second,
that won't get into
is incredible. But that actually brings me perfectly to our next question. Tell me about the vocals. You hadn't done much vocal work on previous works, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I had.
what made this one different?
No. Well, I wanted it to be something different, obviously, something that nobody's ever heard from me before, and I wanted it to be a surprise. That's another reason why the album itself is called Random Music, because vocals just appear randomly. Like, you just, I had another friend text me the day it came out. He's like, "What? You're singing now?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm singing now." Surprise!
Yeah, I love all the vocals, and I gotta say the lyric writing game is very good too.
And what's crazy about this album, the Random Music album, I didn't write anything down. It's all it came to me, and then I went with it. I pulled a Juice WRLD. I just
Yeah, you let your heart just open up on the track. I think it comes through too in the music. And like there's lots of personal stuff in there too, and I think it's because you're talking about these things.
And I think that's what makes sound special. Is yes, there's joke songs like whatever, but then there's also really personal, deep lyrics.
Like Waiting Games.
Yeah, like Waiting Games, which is the last track, talking about waiting on people forever. I feel like that's something that a lot of us do, but me in particular, just because of the way I am. So that one hit close to home, and that was probably the least complex of the entire album. Like, vocal-wise, it was just maybe one or two layers, and then the rest is just the the instrumental. I definitely went for like one dance vibe with the sort of Latin American rhythm.
How have things been since the release of the album? Like, it's been 2 months now.
Things have been good. I feel like it's definitely something to be proud of, and there's also an instrumental album out there for the production nerds like myself, and for the people that just don't like my vocals, which I haven't had.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone like that.
But if vocals aren't your thing, there's also an instrumental one. Things have been good. I feel like it follows the same pattern though, like. Put it on low. It does really well, and then it just falls off the. Nobody listens to it anymore. I get like maybe 1 or 2 listens a day, which adds up when you think about it. But still, like maybe get the numbers up a little bit.
Yeah. Do you want to possibly tell them about the possible music video for Highway Music coming?
Yes, we started planning this over 2-3 months ago now, but I have an idea. We have a bunch of ideas for a music video for Highway Music, and I feel like it's the most worthy of a music video. Like, that was the whole idea, like, oh, this will be good to play in the car.
The only lyric is cruising down the highway.
Cruising down the highway.
Yeah, so we got lots of ideas for that music video, but we haven't started any production on it. But it's just something to be on the lookout for.
It's coming for sure.
So moving on from Volume 1, what's next for you?
Well, I've already started Volume 2. Random Volume 2 is gonna throw you for a loop for sure. It's definitely a lot darker, like definitely more serious themes on this album for sure. And I feel like it's not something that, like, of course I want you to enjoy the music, but it's not something like you can sort of smile along to. Like, it needs to be absorbed and appreciated. And listen to each track multiple times, really soak it all in. It goes from really aggressive to not aggressive at all.
So as far as what to expect out of Volume 2, we can look forward to some darker themes,
Yes.
some more personal music, and some real aggressiveness in,
Yes,
in lots of the songs.
Okay. Random Volume 1 is the Batman from like the 1970s, 80s. And then Random Volume 2 is freaking Dark Knight.
That's in terms I can understand. But, if the last album was 808s and Heartbreaks vibes, this next one would be your My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Exactly.
There's some bass lines on there that are very menacing, very much like So Appalled or something by Kanye. As long as we're still talking about other artists.
Definitely some Kanye, some Drake in there.
Mm-hmm. Big inspirations.
Yeah, again, I'm not sure who else is gonna pop up. It could be, the Supremes. I have no idea where it's gonna go, but I'm definitely excited to see you.
You are somebody who has, some of the most broad music taste I've ever seen in a person.
I feel like that comes with the territory. Like, music producers will say, "Oh, I produced this, but I like all kinds of music." For me, you'll never see a country song out of me ever. Like, not even on Random Music 50. I mean,
but man, you're from Oklahoma. You gotta represent.
Sorry to disappoint country fans, but
no, I'm definitely not a country fan either. All right, so we've talked about your career overarching. Yes. We focused in on your last album. We talked about Volume 1, and we've looked a little bit ahead. Some sneak peeks into Volume 2. Are there any closing remarks, any closing things, last things you want to say about the albums to your fans, to people who will watch this?
Random Volume 1 will probably remain one of the projects that I'm most proud of, other than something like Metamorphosis, which came out back in 2019. But it will forever remain something that I'm proud of. But I can already say that Random Volume 2 is gonna blow Random Volume 1 out of the water in terms of production and sentimental value, and hopefully value to you guys. Like, hopefully there's gonna be some lyrics you're gonna relate to in there somewhere, in all the menacing chaos. But I can tell you for sure that it's gonna be big when it comes out.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. From what I've heard, it's incredible, guys. Yeah. I hope everyone's ready for it. Would you like to close it out with showing us your production a bit? Just turn it over, hit and play on that song you got there, Logan.
Oh yes, this is "Hate to See You Go." I love my pain.
Wait. Show me the drop one more time.
Okay. This isn't even the whole drop. This is just the drums. And
No way, dude.
dude.